people must have iron
Try something
stomachs.
new at the one-man restaurant. I think I may have overeaten.
Wow. Leo's really got a lot going for it.
Try something new at the one-man restaurant.
In a trade war, the perfect hunter leaves no trace.
Overeaten.
Wow. Leo's really got a lot going for it.
Try something new at the one-man restaurant.
Liyue people must have iron stomachs.
Cheap and tasty
I
chop suey!
think I may have overeaten.
Wow. Leo's really got a lot going for it.
Try something new at the one-man restaurant.
Liyue people must
Cheap
have
and
iron
tasty chop
stomachs.
suey!
I think I may have overeaten.
Wow. Leo's really got a lot going for it.
We should look for a new investment.
Try something
Mora
new
doesn't
at the
grow on
one-man
trees.
restaurant.
Cheap and tasty chop suey!
Liyue people must have iron stomachs.
I think I may have overeaten.
Wow. Leo's really got a lot going for it.
Try something new at the one-man restaurant.
Cheap and tasty chop suey!
Liyue people must have iron stomachs.
I think I may have overeaten.
Wow. Leo's really got a lot going
Try something
for
new
it.
at the one-man restaurant.
Even if an
Liyue
antique is
people must
priceless,
have iron
the
stomachs.
happiness it brings lasts for only the moment that you obtain it.
I think I may have
Wow.
overeaten. Try something new at the
Really got a
one-man
lot
restaurant.
going for it.
Cheap and tasty chop suey!
Liyue people must have iron stomachs.
Try something new at the one-man restaurant. Overeaten.
Leo's really got a lot going for it.
Cheap and tasty chop suey!
Liyue people must have iron stomachs.
Try something new at the one-man restaurant. I think I may have
Leo's
overeaten.
really got a lot
Cheap
going
and
for
tasty
it.
chop suey!
Liyue people must have iron stomachs.
Try something new at the one-man restaurant. I think I may have
Wow.
overeaten.
Leo's really got a lot
Cheap
going
and
for
tasty
it.
chop suey!
Liyue people must have iron stomachs.
Try something new at the Wanmin restaurant.
Cheap and tasty chop
Oh.
suey.
I think I may have overeaten.
Leo has really got a lot going for it.
Ugh. Liyue people must have iron stomachs.
Cheap and tasty chop suey.
Try something new at the Wanmin restaurant. I think I may have overeaten.
Wow. Leo has really got a lot going for it.
We should look for a new investment. Mora doesn't grow on trees.
Ugh. Liyue people must have iron stomachs.
Cheap and tasty chop suey.
Oh, I think I may have... Try something new at the Wanmin restaurant.
Ya estamos aquí. Vamos a hacer primero lo del esto de aquí. Ostras.
All tasks have been handed out.
Bien, vamos allá. Las peticiones estas ciudadanas, vamos a completarlas, a ver qué nos piden. 3 campanitas de cristal. Creo que la tengo esa. Muy bien. 2 salchichas. Genial. Vale. ¡Listo! Pues ya tenemos esa versión 1.5 y aquí vamos a ver qué nos trae. Lo primero, la misión legendaria de Zongli, acto 2. Tenemos encuentros parte 2. Si le damos a confirmar, le damos a ir. Pues tenemos acto 1 y acto 2, ¿vale? Parte 1 y parte 2. Que yo no los he completado, por cierto. Tenemos a Diona. Otra. Y ya está. Luego tenemos las nuevas sensaciones, donde nos permiten probar a estos personajes. Vamos a probarlos. Vamos a probar a Yanfei. Vamos a ver si esto le da por funcionar, porque vamos, me cago en todo. Perfecto. Vaya. Venga. No está mal, no está mal. ¡Dios!
Motion to compel.
Vamos a ver. Está un poco rota. Claro, supongo que será hacer una prueba. Pues, se siente muy rota. Vale, ya está. ¿Hola? No sé si este audio se está escuchando. Supongo que sí. Bien. Primero de esos ya completado. Vamos a ir a por... A ver, recogemos eso. Vamos a probar a Zongli. Aunque esto ya se sabe cómo es. Y conseguir esas 20 protogemas necesarias para tirar a ese banner o no. Y esperar a Eula. Pero me apetece conseguir a Yanfei, así que Vamos a pelear. A ver. No sé si estoy pasando.
You're in for a little.
Cool it. Quake. Rise.
Bueno.
Crumble. I will have order.
¡Hala! A la mierda. Ese final, vamos.
Oh, so sorry. Dodge this.
Ahí. Fuera. Fuera.
Freeze. This is order.
Hala, la mierda. No sé por qué no ha hecho esa animación, pero ok.
Let's spark things up a little.
Crumble. This moment will be frozen in time.
Venga. Desaparece ya de mi vida. Venga. Listo. Bueno, pues ya tenemos esas 20 protogemas que nos regalan así de extra, que no están nada mal. Nos vamos aquí a evento y cogemos esas 20 protogemas. ¿Qué falta nos hacen? Bien, nos vamos a la alineación astral, que esto es del abismo. Y bueno, los ciclos, bla, 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 bla. Esto no tiene mucho. Como ya sabemos, tenemos un nuevo hipostasis. Y se encuentra en espina dragón. Así que vamos a ir a probar su potencial. Lo podemos encontrar aquí. Aquí lo vemos. Aquí. Este es. Así que como siempre vamos a probar ese potencial de ese hipostasis. A ver qué tal es. Supongo que será muy parecido al resto y no tendrá mucha complicación. La dificultad será que te congelas. Y no me voy a poner. A ver, voy a coger y cambiarme a otro personaje porque si no me van a pegar una paliza.
The threads of your fate lie in my hands.
Y me voy a coger al Bennett.
Gonna be epic.
Y vamos a ver qué tal se nos da. Me equivoco. Vamos para allá. Voy a por ti, hipostasis. Venga. Aquí tenemos un nuevo hipostasis. ¡Ostras! Bueno, como vemos, no parece muy complicado. Como podemos ver, hace unos ataques muy parecidos al... Bueno, es que son iguales. Lo que pasa es que este ataca demasiado fuerte. De mierda, no me ha dado tiempo.
That's gonna hurt in the morning.
Activar esto porque...
Let's light it up.
No, no, no. Mierda. ponemos aquí. Pues nada. He tirado la ulti para nada. Esto es... Uf, uf. No me da tiempo a atacarle, ¿eh? ¿Qué hace? ¿Qué hace? ¡Ostras, qué bien! ¡Ay, boh! ¡Ay, boh! Uf, no le hago una mierda. Interesante, interesante ataque. El macho, pero como me da todo.
Give up.
Uf. ¡Ah! Ostras. F en el chat, por favor. Pues lo veo chungo, ¿eh? ¿Dónde se ha ido? Oye, que se ha pirado. Ostras.
No rest for the wicked.
Uf. Lo veo chungo, lo veo chungo, lo veo chungo. No. ¡Pártese! Dios. Ostras, ostras. Que me revienta, me revienta.
Off we go.
Uf, yo creo que a este hay que atacarle desde lejos, ¿eh?
Nice and spicy.
Creo que me voy a tirar. ¡Ostras! ¡Ostras!
Out of the frying pan, into the fire.
No le hago nada. No le hago nada.
Everybody stand back. This is just my
Ala.
luck.
Muy bien, muy bien. Muy bien.
By royal
Ahora ya.
No
Ya le
rest
estamos
for the
ahí
wicked.
dando, ya le estamos dando, ya le estamos dando. Pero bueno. ¡Quita! ¿Qué hace? ¿Qué hace? ¿Qué está haciendo? Bueno, 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 bueno.
No, did I ruin everything?
Uf, uf. Los personajes no pueden con él, ¿eh?
By royal decree, I summon thee.
Madre.
One shall.
Menuda paliza me está pegando.
Once
Menuda
again.
paliza me está pegando.
Race you.
No puedo con él.
Dinner's gonna
Pues nada. Y hipostasis. Hay que cogerle esto por ser la primera vez. Muy pobre en el ataque que he hecho. En fin. Vamos a ir a otra cosa. Como al dominio que hay aquí. Así que vamos a descubrir ese dominio, pero primero voy a curarme. A ver, tenemos un comentario. Ojo que tenemos un comentario. A ver quién es el que habla. ¿Nueva zona? No, no hay nueva zona. Bendiciones, nada, vamos. Voy a ir aquí a descubrir ese dominio, porque si no... ¿Por dónde voy? Quizás por aquí. Vamos a ver si consigo llegar ahí. A ver, seguir. Aquí hay... Tenemos un... ese paso de... ¡Anda! ¿Qué tenemos por aquí? Vamos para allá. Oye, pero no es por... es por aquí. Me ha dejado eso. Vamos. Esto es un poco, no sé. No sé si yo podré vencer a esos de ahí. Yo creo que sí, míralo, aquí está. Aquí está el dominio, sí señor. Vale. Muy bien, gracias por esas 5 protogemas. Tampoco las necesitaba. Bien, vamos a enfrentarnos a estos de aquí. Venga. Esto sí.
Insubordination! I summon thee! It's nothing.
Venga. Esto no pega, Vamos.
Teamwork is strength!
Your life is mine. Don't waste my time.
Paliza de... Vale, cogemos esto. Perfecto. Bueno, pues tenemos ese nuevo dominio que lo podemos encontrar aquí. En esta parte de aquí tenemos este nuevo dominio. Aquí tenemos el nuevo hipóstasis. Y pasamos a lo siguiente. Cambios en el pase de batalla. Empezamos con los primeros cambios, que son en las misiones semanales. Esto se mantiene, pero han desaparecido lo de encontrar los 100 objetos, bueno, sí, objetos de Liyue y de Monster. Estos dos desafíos, o bueno, estas dos misiones semanales han desaparecido. A cambio de meter lo que viene siendo conseguir 1000 intramoras. También construye 10 piezas de decoración y compra 2 objetos al espíritu ambulante de la tetera de la... Bueno, de otro jugador. Vamos, que tienes que visitar a otro jugador. Y completa dominios de la cruzada o el desafío del Señor de los Lobos un total de 3 veces. Lo que no entiendo es esto de hacerlo 3 veces. No creo que se pueda hacer esto 3 veces. En fin. También tenemos la rebaja. La rebaja de la resina en los jefes semanales. Por ejemplo, aquí, en el Señor de los Lobos, podemos obtener o hacer este jefe por 30 de resina. Ese. Y luego tenemos otro por aquí. Ah, bueno, aún no lo he descubierto. La casa dorada también lo tenemos como 30 de resina. Solo los 3 primeros jefes son 4. Pues estos dos, 30 de resina. La guarida del Stone Terror también lo tendremos rebajado a 30. Ahí lo veis. Entonces nos permiten hacer 3 jefes por 30 de resina. Y el cuarto tendrá que ser por 60. Entonces tendremos que elegir entre los 4 cuál queremos que nos cobren 60 de resina. Está bastante bien. Después de las quejas, está todo bien. Y ahora nos vamos a ir al housing. Vámonos a ir al housing, a la misión de la tetera. Tetera dulce, tetera. Vámonos para allá. A ver dónde está la tetera. A ver dónde está. Pues como era de esperar, ¿no? Perfecto. Pues vamos a ir allí. A ver cómo es ese sistema de housing tan interesante. Vamos para allá. A ver... Ajá, aquí estás. Vamos por abajo. Bueno, está ahí. Antes de ir ahí, voy a coger esto. Ah, mira, si lo tenemos aquí al lado. Claro, es verdad. Perfecto, perfecto. Me viene de perlas esto. Para recoger todo esto. Aunque ahora como ya no necesitamos coger 100, pues... Por un lado es malo, porque nos obligaba a farmear. Ahora ya, pues... Ya no te obliga tanto a farmear. Aunque tienes que farmear igualmente, pero bueno. Venga, cogemos esto. Esto de aquí. Perfecto. Vamos para allá. A ver. Oye, de verdad no te subas las paredes. Que no te subas. Hace lo que le da la gana, macho. Vale. Cogemos esto de aquí. Y ahí está. Empezamos con el housing.
Ah, children, come, come. You've arrived at just the right moment. I've been looking for you.
Oh, what is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh, no, no. You've done so much for...
Muy bien.
In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think...
A gift? For Paimon?
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even. But when you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell,
Ajá,
I
mira.
heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds. That simply won't do, especially since, fortunately, I have not yet grown so old as to see my subspace crew. Oh, did my friends never mention that to you? Well then, I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small,
ese Poppy.
autonomous pocket world.
Madre mía.
The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created you...
So, in the eyes of an adeptus, creating a magic teapot world...
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. But that's enough nostalgia for now.
That's right! Finding stuff's...
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you. What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the material. Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh. Back in the day, it could only be... You would have to dig downward, following the roots of the glazed lilies, and... But almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since even more difficult to find is smaragdus
Muy
jadeite,
interesante, muy interesante.
which must be
A ver.
chiseled from the rock of the cat. In any case, smaragdus jadeite is an adepti treasure, and the... goodness knows if that child...
Well, since you're an adeptus, Granny,
Yes, I suppose...
she counts? How come there are so many adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all the time.
Oh, maybe so. Who can say?
I'm back, Granny.
Ah, Yanfei.
I don't believe we've met.
Ah, allow me to do the honors. This child here is Yanfei. I believe you already heard of the traveler and his traveling companion.
Of course, who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records. You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of... A shame that we didn't meet sooner. If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it's... Allow me to introduce myself once more. I'm Yanfei, a legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me. Oh, yes. Here's my business card. You'll find it has my contact details, and if you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
All right, Yanfei, all right. Let's get to the business at hand. You'll have to excuse Yanfei. She's always been like this. Ever the talkative.
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the one.
An adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time. And then after that was all, they had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey.
Well, that's a bit casual for an adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts?
Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis, and that he was
Muy
fine
bien.
with it. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the chasm's been sealed off, and there's just no way in. Couldn't secure any documentation either. Looks like the Ministry of Civil Affairs is serious about keeping it strictly locked.
Is that so? Yanfei, are you sure you can't find some other way?
I know, Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely in...
Whoa, that's a really thick book.
Commercial consultancy. Or... Snezhnaya Krusel. A Snezhnayan merchant who once came to me with some legal queries on certain articles in the legal codices. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal... So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his... Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and...
Wow, an adeptus imploring. Best we be a little more careful.
Venga, ya está. Bien. Vamos para allá, pero antes voy a cogerme esto de aquí. Y esto de aquí. Ahí está. Y cogemos esto. Ahí va. Vámonos ahora de aquí. Aquí no pasa nada. Vamos a ver. Vale, ahí lo estamos.
You can't beat the atmosphere here in Eula.
Hello, Mr. Crossel. How's business been?
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe...
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, in the end I did. Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize, I've already...
Wait, isn't smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins get...
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Zhiqiao before... The contract makes it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must... In return, I included a clause that guarantees the smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by...
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is...
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has...
In that case, might you know where Miss Zhiqiao lives? We'd like to pay her...
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we...
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossel.
Madre mía, las vueltas que me va a hacer dar. Ahora para arriba otra vez. Joder, macho. Está arriba. aquí. Vamos por aquí. Que no te muevas tanto, me cago en todo. Y esta vuelta tan absurda. Ah, vale, vale, es por aquí. Menos mal, porque vamos. El camino este no está muy bien hecho, ¿eh?
Oh, whatever shall I do? Yes, that's me.
How do you do, Monsieur Chow? We understand from Mr. Crossell that my associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind?
The hairpins. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no... My family is in the ore business too, but we now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around.
Bueno.
So we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this. That's what the hairpins were for, to... But now that I've lost the hairpins...
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Would you really? I sent a commission to the adventurers...
Hold on. Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Monsieur Chow, would you...
Huh? Well, I mean, sure.
Let me see.
That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? True. Though surely there must be a win-win solution.
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpin. Furthermore, the contract also expressly states that the amount of compensation, and given the rarity of Smaragdus jadeite, I fear that the final...
Even higher? Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Juchao looks like...
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus jadeite that was in...
Did you really have to pause before saying that part? Anyway, the hairpins are lost, so how exactly would we be... Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding...
Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need...
Please. Please, Don't trouble yourselves over this. However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital. Now that it's come to this, I really shouldn't keep Crossell in the dark any longer.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that, I have some questions about the hairpins. So hold on a moment, Monsieur Chow. When you first touched...
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstone said... My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so I am quite...
Smooth to the touch. No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things.
¡Otra vez! ¡Qué pesadilla, de verdad! ¿Cuántas vueltas me vas a hacer dar? Vale. Vamos a hablar con este tío otra vez.
Ah, Miss Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too. You lost them? Are you serious?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Truly I am.
Mora! Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my head? I just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Ah, yes. It was in fact genuine Smaragdus jadeite inlaid into the hairpins.
Of course. Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm back, I'll provide an official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
Please wait, Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss with you.
Muy bien.
It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
Otra vez hay que irse de aquí. Madre mía, por favor.
I should open a store here.
Intenta que me va a llevar cerca, me cago en todo. En la otra punta. Un buen lugar para hablar, desde luego.
Miss Yanfei, what is this about?
No. What I wanted to talk about is, there is a chance that the Orin laid on those hairpins may not be Smaragdus Jadeite after.
What do you mean? Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found them?
Obviously not. I'm no adventurer, let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions. I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus Jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it, well, they'll be sick in the best case. And in the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your possession?
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slightest bit unwell. I didn't feel anything special at all, in fact.
Now that is strange. I noticed earlier that there were elemental traces in Mr. Crossel's vicinity. If I've deduced correctly, he may still have the Smaragdus Jadeite in his possession.
If that's the case, we should go confront him right now and expose his dirty scam right to his face!
Absolutely not. If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. Eventually, he would find some argument to compel us to leave.
Madre mía.
And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus Jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing. Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Eula, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still exist somewhere in this world.
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might be experience talking.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with you in due course.
Muy bien, muy bien.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me, Miss Yanfei.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, could I ask you to please sign this contract?
Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even keep track. It feels like Yanfei is even more concerned with them than a certain someone else we know.
These are my formal terms of engagement. Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice. But for me to investigate any further, I require a written contract. Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I understand. Then I will be glad to place this matter into your capable hands if you will take it, Miss Yanfei.
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and then sign on this page as well. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint over here.
This contract has so many pages. Paimon's all
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
I've had a read through. Everything checks out.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract. I will retain the other copy. Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve, once we've got some things squared away. I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case, hopefully this should be quite the experience.
Miss Yanfei, I have to ask, why are you helping me?
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some smaragdus jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geoenergy around Mr. Crossel, so perhaps he has, in fact, secured some. Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter, but either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some smaragdus jadeite. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... where can we find someone who processes ore?
Ahora hay que dar otra vuelta.
I've got it. Let's pay a visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery. He's a professional when it comes to working with stone and ore. If Mr. Crossel had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
Bueno, está aquí al lado, así que...
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to... Oh, it's you, Miss Yanfei. Is something the matter? Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win? Oh, I swear on all that is sacred.
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnyan merchant named Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnyan merchant named Crossel, you say? I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was smaragdus jade. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
Do you have any leftover debris?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look.
Venga, por favor. Ah, aquí.
Huh? If my eyes don't deceive me, the cross-sections and patterning suggest that, yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry. I've heard it said that smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of smaragdus jadeite, though...
A thin layer of separation, huh?
If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore, containing no elemental...
Is that so? So, did you find anything? So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao is able...
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time. These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart.
A ver.
There may be... and...
Alright, let's focus up.
But, never mind, Shirto. What?
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them.
Muy bien. Vámonos.
Miss Yanfei?
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossel did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact smaragdus jadeite.
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact.
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing?
Of course.
Oh, I have my reasons. Ah, yes. Please, this document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the,
Yes, I see.
I wouldn't say there's been an incident. Just a minor issue.
With this hard evidence to back us up, Crossel will...
On the contrary, this is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find something. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think. Jewelry. Aha! Got it! Xingxi. She often helps people to find a jewelsmith.
Well, that was quick. How come you know so?
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, well, but the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. As such, legal advisors like myself...
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that...
Yes, well, that's no obstacle, because I've memorized all the legal...
You meant...
You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know? Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
Again, with that casual...
Well, that's that then. Let's go...
Vamos a ver dónde está ahora el tío este. Ah, vale, que está aquí al lado. Vale, vale. No, vale, porque si no me están ya cabreando un poco. Con tanta vuelta. A ver, aquí dice que no está. Dice que está abajo. Ah, vale, aquí.
Oh, Miss Yanfei, it's you. Has something happened?
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. Has a merchant by the name of Crossel asked you to put him in contact?
Crossel? Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no? Yes, the design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly. This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which...
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be...
Miss Xingxi, I'd like for you to confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossel commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did...
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction... Mr. Crossel wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself. The item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin... The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document even has the official...
Thank you, Xingxi. Now...
Sure. It isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that...
Nothing you need to worry about. Just a minor issue. I'll return your document as soon...
Why is everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is...
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip. Let's go to Boo Boo Pharmacy.
The weirdo with the snake around his neck? What do you want to speak to him for?
Because only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that Smaragdus Jadeite is harmful. Once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case up.
Madre mía, la vuelta que hay que dar, por favor.
You'll have a blast.
Habla con Baizu, sí, ¿dónde está? ¿Dónde está el Baizu? Ah, vale, aquí arriba, ¿no? A ver, este tío. Creo que lo tengo, fíjate. Vale. Gracias por el encargo que me acabas de dar. En fin. Bueno, ¿y dónde está ahora el tío este? Madre mía. ¿Qué ha pasado? ¿Se ha bugueado o qué? Por cierto, no se olviden de coger las 300 protogemas que nos dan. 300 más 300. Estas dos por los mantenimientos del servidor.
Rest assured, the chingxin's top
Bugueado, Ah, mira, fastidio. Esto se ha bugueado. ¿Cómo? ¿Cómo? Ah, vale, hay que llevar a esta. Bueno, vamos a llevar esta. A ver.
Even if an antique is priceless, the happiness it brings only the moment that you obtain it.
Bueno.
Please, show me your
Vaya bonos.
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs. And if it isn't Miss Yanfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual medicines again, no doubt?
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smaragdus jadeite.
Smaragdus jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the Seven Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains, and it is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yanfei, and given the specific nature, I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical...
That is indeed the case. If you would be so kind...
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for Smaragdus jadeite. But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of... I wonder, Miss Yanfei, if you're pressing
you needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baizhu. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate.
You're too...
Otra media vuelta más.
That Baizhu guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
Ese popín. Ah, mira, aquí está. Vamos a ver.
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now...
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final...
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss Yan...
Of course. Mr. Crossell, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely...
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus jadeite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable...
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yan, I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake? I demand to see your evidence.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, if we want to determine whether the ore is genuine, we need to start with evidence from the Jade Mystery. This is a processing record from
Muy
the Jade
bien.
Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between smaragdus jadeite and smaragdus nephrite. In any case, smaragdus nephrite is the outer layer of smaragdus jadeite. So I had him cut away the nephrite. He returned the valuable jadeite core to...
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are here to talk about...
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all.
Hard evidence, something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the ore...
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either. And this guy's getting more belligerent by...
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hairpins are...
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown supports my story.
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't revealed. Traveler, would you do the honors? This shall serve as...
What's this?
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who sustained contact with smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady. Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of smaragdus jadeite?
I had no idea.
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient, considering that, as you say, you were... Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence... I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigation.
What? Wait! I knew.
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear, Mr. Crossell. But if you knew...
Huh? No,
Aren't actually inlaid with genuine smaragdus jadeite? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Mr. Crossell. Your answer, please.
Ala, te han pillado.
Yanfei's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different person.
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid... But I'm a victim in all of this, too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of... But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a week. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from smaragdus nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable from smaragdus jadeite. I kept the real smaragdus jadeite in a specially made box. I daren't touch it again. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Zhiqiao lost the hairpins after I rented them.
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay so much?
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that smaragdus jadeite, some of my business partners found out. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins...
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times...
10 times?
Crusoe looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent...
There's no need. It's fine. Even if the smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not.
Ms. Zhiqiao...
However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of smaragdus jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead?
What? But all right, then.
Miss Yanfei, I'll turn the smaragdus jadeite over to you.
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yanfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and express my thanks.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this...
Well, yes.
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crossell, it seems that my client has...
Is that so?
Actually, Mr. Crossell, I'd like to talk, but I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have a fair stock of fine ore. If we could join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores...
Joder, chaval, qué pesadilla. Está muy bien, está muy bien.
Well, that's that. And we've got the smaragdus jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well, eh?
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over the place. Even though the solution...
The right solution depends on your perspective on the objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, proving that the rented item was nowhere near worth what the vendor had claimed it to be was the more of an adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy for...
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit. I bet she's been on tenterhooks for...
La vuelta que me va a hacer la... Madre mía. Las vueltas que me va a hacer. Espero y deseo que este sea la última parte de la misión, porque si no me voy a quedar en toda la mañana para esta pedazo de misión. Aparte, señor. Perfecto, lo tenemos aquí.
Ah, you've returned. How did it go? Good, good.
Well, if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got it.
Oh, you. All right, then.
I'm off then. Bye. Oh, yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card I gave you.
Sí, no
I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you should ever bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you...
I'm leaving! I'm leaving!
Muy interesante.
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father was hardly so riotous or Indeed she is. Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most Liyue is not the... All right, then. Let us speak of this
Oh, Paimon's so excited! How is it
It is but a single...
Bueno, ya han construido el momento. Vale, venga, perfecto. Aquí
There we
está.
go.
Relájate.
This serenity pot, hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, oh, goodness, who knows? Take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them if you wish to make your teapot a little more live.
Wait a minute, Granny. How exactly are we...
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged for a certain little help.
Muy bien, gracias. Y así es como hemos desbloqueado la relajatetera.
This is a peaceful neighborhood.
Muy bien. Y aquí tenemos... Vale. Nos vamos aquí. Y le damos a colocar. Lo colocamos y nos metemos dentro, ¿no? Sencillito. Lo colocamos y nos metemos dentro. Y aquí es donde nos tienen que dejar elegir el mundo. Vista previa. Ajá. Y este también. Como no sé cuál elegir, pues voy a coger esta. ¿Quieres desbloquear el diseño del mundo? Sí. Y lo metemos ahí. Al estilo Aladino. ¿Cómo pica? Pica tu juega. Vale. Y aquí tenemos que hablar con este.
Wow, it seems it's a huge finch. Excuse me, I am not a finch. Hang on.
No se sabe ni cómo se llamaba.
Oh, call me. I suppose you may call. So you're the
Gordy.
little helper, Madam Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. Yes, she did. You may leave all matters. Your journey may be far from over, but though it is thus, we teapot spirits were created to help. You may consider me now. Have you any blueprints on you? Specifically, as long as you have a blueprint, you can refashion this realm however. Blueprints?
Vale, que sí, que nos va a enseñar cómo decorar todo. Vale.
Yes, these are the Just commit the image of the objects to memory and prepare. Then simply release the thought from your mind and... Wow! Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we? I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained... He said that even though subspace creation is this world is not a true one, after all. It provides merely a moment of brief respite. A golden-eyed adeptus? Paimon wondered. I hardly remember myself. What's more, I have never seen that adeptus again. Well, let's not dwell on that. Have a look around if there's anything you would like.
Muy bien, muy bien. Pues aquí tenemos, tras usar o invocar la relajatatera, podremos interactuar con ella para entrar. Bueno, sí. Aquí hablamos con el mayordomo. Aquí vemos que podemos crear todo tipo de objetos para la interfaz de fabricación. Vamos, que vamos a tener que utilizar objetos del mundo. Romper árboles, fabricar objetos que recolectar con el mundo abierto. Después obtener un objeto mobiliario. Puedes usar la función de colocar para ponerlo en la posición que desees. Colocar decoraciones para aumentar el nivel de energía adéptica de tu relajatera. A medida que aumente el nivel de energía, acumularás intramora más deprisa. Te tienda para comprar todo tipo de artículos. Y de vez en cuando un espíritu ambulante. Bueno, está bien. Y si obtienes un plano conjunto de decoración, podrás colocar todos los componentes de una vez. Al colocarlo podrás ajustar cada componente de forma individual. Muy interesante. Pues venga.
Maybe.
Rango de confianza. Y aquí vemos pues que tenemos rango de confianza. Cogemos la recompensa. Ahí los vemos, nos dan 60 protogemas. Capacidad de almacenar. Ajá, 300 área. No, muy bien. Y tenemos hasta el nivel 10. Pues recogemos la recompensa, ¿no? Bueno. Límite de almacenamiento actual 300. Velocidad de acumulación actual 4 horas. Bueno, sí. Esa es la moneda. Aquí tenemos alojamiento básico. Humilde morada 8 horas, 12 horas, 16 horas. Bueno, palacio real. Madre mía. Y bueno, podemos desbloquear el resto de lugares. Perfecto. Cambiar el diseño. Crear decoración. A ver. Podemos crear decoración. ¿Qué es esto? Tela. Tinte rojo. Tinte amarillo. Tinte azul. vamos a tener que coger bastantes cosas de seda, ¿eh?
Maybe.
Y a ver aquí. A ver. Nos dice que podemos resina efímera. Está bien. Decoración. Mira, mira el truco que tenemos por aquí. What the fuck. Árboles por todos lados, ¿no? Lo que veo. Y luego tenemos planos de decoración. El cual podemos crear nuestras propias casas, ¿no? Arco mural, pared de madera, vale. Esto es chunguillo. Esto es chunguillo de coger. Ostras. Pues sí que hay de todo aquí. Cama baja. Sofá. Muy interesante, muy interesante. Anthony. Entraba a saludar ya que en 5 minutos me voy. Ostras, no me he dado cuenta de que habías entrado. No me he dado cuenta. Pozo antiguo. Veo que esto tampoco es que nos vaya a servir de mucho, pero bueno. Puesto de paja. Cabaña de paja. Vamos a empezar con una cabaña de paja, ¿no? A ver. ¿Qué hay? Entrar a la finca. ¿Podemos entrar a la finca o qué? A ver, que hay aquí dentro. Digamos que esta es nuestra casa, ¿no? Aquí podemos crear lo que nos dé la gana. Muy bonito, pues. Entra a la finca, recogemos primera ronda, bla, bla, bla. Todo esto. Muy bien, muy bien. Supongo que los árboles nos permitirá farmear, digo yo, ¿no? A ver, aquí la izquierda. A ver. ¿Quién ha hablado? Un día iba al segundo templo y había una zona peligrosa de un enemigo de nivel 13
In
y
a
que
trade
de nivel
war,
13
the
mató a los
perfect
dos
hunter
personajes.
leaves no trace.
Ostras, Anthony. Ostras. ¿Has visto esto? ¿A qué mola? Podemos construir aquí como si fuera el Minecraft. Miren todo lo que podemos construir. Todo este mundo es nuestro. Le damos aquí.
Maybe.
Tenemos la tienda, cambiar el diseño. ¿Qué es esto? Ah, vale. Aumenta tu rango de confianza. Vale, esto es para cambiar el diseño. Perfecto.
Maybe.
Crear decoración. No he aprendido nada. Mira, mira. Esto no sé qué es. Bueno, esto es para el tinte, no sé qué es esto. Estamos dentro de una tetera.
Maybe.
A ver. Teletienda. Tetetienda, no teletienda. Mira, tesoros del mundo interior. Pues ahora hay un problema, porque no sé cómo se farmea esto.
maybe...
Límite de almacenamiento. Velocidad actual. Bueno. Alojamiento básico. Uf. Yo quiero construir un palacio real de esas. Pero eso es chungo, ¿eh? 30 horas. Tarda en construirse. Cada fin de semana de viernes un espíritu ambulante visitará tu mundo interior y tratará de conseguir objetos exóticos. Si te interesa alguno tendrás que darte prisa y comprarlo rápidamente. Además este sábado a las 4 hasta el lunes, así que también podrás ir a otros mundos interiores y hacer negocios con sus espíritus ambulantes. ¿Y ahora cómo me salgo de aquí? Me quiero ir de aquí. ¿Cómo me voy? ¿Alguna idea? Ah, mira, si podemos utilizar esto. No. Podemos quemar aquí todo. No puedo salir de aquí. Vale.
Benny's Adventure Team, assemble!
Aquí el problema es que no tengo ni idea de cómo funciona esto. Entonces, claro. Bueno, salimos. Bueno, salimos de aquí. Vale. Vale, pues ya está. Ahora
Adventure Time.
podemos llamar a la tetera donde nos dé la gana. Perfecto. Ya no tenemos más misiones de estas. Bien. Porque ya está bien. A ver. Pues aquí tengo un montón de misiones. Retorno de la... Uf. Chao, Anthony.
Off we go.
Vamos a ver qué podemos obtener aquí. 1600, vamos, que me faltan 600 protogemas aún. Bueno, igual puede salirme. A ver. ¡Oh! Mira qué suerte he tenido, fíjate. Mira qué suerte he tenido. Tiro una y me toca el nuevo personaje, sí señor. Pues no sé qué hacer aquí. Casi mejor tiro aquí también. Si me toca algún arma en condiciones. Pues nada, no me toca nada.
Where did that come from?
A ver, tenemos este. Bueno. Uf. El siguiente material es más chungo, ¿eh? 4, 8, 12 y 20. Oh. No está mal. Voy a pasarme las misiones estas. Porque si no... Vale, están ahí. Me voy a ir a por esta primero. Y luego ya me pasaré las otras. A ver. Esto no da nada. Ah, que ahora sí estamos aquí. Muy bien, muy bien.
Adventure time.
Muy bien estos árboles, sí. Voy a coger, a ver, a ver. No, este no funciona. Bueno.
Let's light it up.
Bueno.
By royal decree, I summon.
Fuera.
Don't waste my time.
Shadow Raven, let night fall.
Nada. ¿Pero vienen o no vienen? ¿No viene nadie o qué? Mierda. Está bien.
Submit! Eat this! Nice and spicy!
No. Ala. Ahora volvéis a tocar las narices otra vez. Vamos. A ver. Uf, me quiero alejar de esa, porque esa venía por mí.
Race you!
Vamos a ver si somos capaces de pasar esto. Como sea. Venga.
It's nothing. Your life is mine.
Oz, reveal!
Off we go.
Ahora, F en el chat. Todos muertos. A ver, solo queda ese de ahí. Pero antes me voy a poner aquí para coger un par de flores de estas. Las necesito. Ahí está. Vamos a coger, vamos a ir aquí. Uf, esto es chunguillo, ¿eh?
Good things come to...
Construye 10 piezas de decoración. Vale.
Those who don't wait around. That's what they say anyway. Knowing my luck, they
No, ay no, hombre.
Adventure time.
Asegúrate de que el globo llegue a su destino.
As you wish, mein Fräulein.
¡No! ¿Pero qué mierda es esta, por favor? Desafío fallido. Ah, vale, está aquí. Venga. Hala. Vale.
Out of the frying pan, into the fire!
give up. It's nothing. Fire.
Vamos aquí.
You're toast! Nice and spicy! Race you!
Venga, hasta luego. Hasta luego. Adiós. Vale, facilito. Bueno, pues vámonos para acá.